So today we are going to learn the topic vegetative morphology. So under the chapter we are going to see that the shoot system. Okay, already we studied the root system. You know the characteristics of the root system. So today we are going to learn the shoot system. Okay, so how the shoot is formed. So when the seed is undergoing the germination, which gives rise to the two regions, that is, one is the radicle, another one is a plumule. Okay, so radicle which gives rise to the root system and plumule which gives rise to the shoot system. Okay, so from the plumule the shoot system is arised. So what are the parts in the shoot system? So we can see the branches, right, and leaves, fruits, flowers. Okay, everything is on the shoot system. Okay, the shoot is positively phototrophic, that is negatively geotrophic in conditions. Okay, the shoot consists of, that's a green in color. The leaves, especially the leaves, are green in color because the presence of chlorophyll. Okay, so this is positively phototrophic. So because that is prepare the food material with the help of the sunlight. Okay, so what are the parts in the vegetative regions, especially in the shoot system? We will see one by one. Listen here. So actually this is here a small plantlet. Okay, so we can see the shoot system here. So this is your branches. So from the branches, so that we can see that is your leaves. Okay, so where the leaves are arised on the stem, that regions, it may be a stem or on the leaves, so that is considered as a nodal region. Okay, so we can see that so many nodes are here. So what are the distance between the nodes? Okay, the distance between the nodes are considered as a internode. And we have to see the axillary buds or terminal buds. So what is a terminal buds? In the tip of the plants we can see the flowers. Okay, that is a terminal buds. Axillary buds means that is arise from between the node and internode. Okay, so we will see the one by one. The shoot system, already I said, that's a plumule of the embryo of germinating seeds grows into the stem. Okay, so after the germination, how the seed is germinated? Okay, with the help of the water. How the water is entered into the seeds? Through the micropyle. Okay, the micropyle region is a small pore in the seed. So through this via the water is entered there. Okay, then they have to increase the size of the seeds. Okay, so by this way, which is undergoing the germination and which gives rise to a two important region. One is a plumule, another one is a, that is a radicle. Okay, so plumule which gives rise to the shoot system, radicle which gives rise to the root system. Okay, that plumule of the embryo germinating seeds grow into the stem. Okay, and another important region is a epicortile, another one is a hypocortiles. Okay, so where is the epicortiles? We will see the picture. Draw the diagram. This is a cotyledons actually. Here cotyledon area. Okay, so above the cotyledons, that epicortile is that this region is considered as a epicortile. In the region that is here epicortile is present in above the cotyledons. Okay, so what about that is here hypocortile? The hypocortile is present So the hypocortile is present below the cotyledons. Okay, you know the structure of cotyledons, that is above the cotyledons epicortile is there. So below the cotyledons, that is here hypocortile is present. So epicortile which gives rise to so this region is considered as a epicortile. So this region is considered as a hypocortile. This is the epicortile and this is your hypocortile. Okay, above the cotyledons and below the cotyledons. Okay. So that epicortils elongates. Okay, adilirundhu varakudi and the epicortils, that is elongates after the embryo, the growth into the axis. Axis அப்படிங்கிறது the main stem. Okay, main and the branch, main stem தான் axis அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். So from the axis which bears the leaves from the tips. Okay, so அதிலிருந்து leaves, fruits, flowers எல்லாமே arised ஆகும். So that is called that is the epicortile portions. Okay, how can they give? That is a apical meristem. So first we must know about the meristem. Meristem na namakku enna appdin pathina, so that is a divisible. Meristem means that is divisible. So here the cells are divide, okay. So that is a meristose means divisible, the cells are divide continuously. Actually meristematic region is the productions of the, that is cell regions, okay. The cells are produced in this region. So what is apical meristem? The meristem is divided into three. So one is apical meristem, another one is a intercalary meristem, and later one is a lateral meristem, okay. So apical meristem is responsible for, that is a elongations of the stem, okay, that is increasing in the length, which is responsible for increasing in the length of the plant, increasing in the height of the plant. So that is a apical meristem. Actually the divisions occur in the epicotyle, okay. The epicotyle is undergoing the mitotic divisions, then which gives rise to a length of the plant, okay. They have to increase the cells with the help of a apical meristem, okay. So lateral meristem, that is here which gives the girth of the plant. Girth means that is here secondary thickening, which is responsible for secondary thickening. So they have to increase the size of the stem becoming wood because the presence of a lateral meristem, okay. So the another one is a intercalary meristem. The intercalary meristem which is present in the internode, okay va, rendu node ku idaiyila irukக்கூடிய distance, okay. So that is known as a internode elongations அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So அந்த internode elongations க்கு வந்து அது length increase ஆயிருச்சுனா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா plant ஓட height வந்து increase ஆயிரும். அப்ப internode elongations is carried out by intercalary meristems, okay. So you are going to learn the issues in the, so next the last 10th chapter I think, okay. So meristems means that's a new word to you, that is a divisible, okay. Meristose means divisible. So meristem is a apical meristem is a type of a part of the meristem, okay. So based on the position it is classified. Actually meristems are classified based on the positions. Number 1 apical meristem, number 2 intercalary meristem, number 3 is here, that is a lateral meristem, okay. So see once again the plumule is very important word, okay, from the plumule. So plumule of the embryo which gives rise to the stem, okay. So what is there? That is a epicotyle. Epicotyle elongates. How it is elongates? Because which is undergoing the mitotic division to elongate and gives rise to the axis. The axis is your main branch, so main stem, okay. The trunk is considered as a axis. So from the axis we can see the leaves and flowers, fruits and everything. So further cell divisions and growth result in the formations of mass of tissue is called a leaf primordium. Leaf primordium is nothing a bud-like structures, okay. Which organ is the, so say that is originated, that conditions it's look like a bud, that is called a leaf primordium. So that is cell divide. So the cell division is occur in the leaf primordium, okay. The point from which the leaf is arises is called node. So node regions, the leaves are arised on the stem. So this is your petiole. So from the petiole the leaves are arised, okay. So this is this region is called, this is a nodal region. This is one node. And this is your another node, okay. So this region is your another node, okay. Where the leaf is arised on the stem, the particular position is called, this is a node. So what is the internode? Internode means that is a distance between the two nodes. Internodes are the distance between the two nodes. This is a internode, okay. So this is a node. So further cell divisions occur in that leaf primordium. After that, that is here the leaves are arised, okay. Where the leaves are arised, that region is considered as a node. The adjacent nodes are considered as a internode. Adjacent node means that is your distance between the two nodes, okay. ரெண்டு நோடுகளுக்கு இடையில இருக்கக்கூடிய தூரம். Next we have to see the characteristic features of the stem, okay. So the stem is aerial. Aerial means, what is the meaning of the aerial? It's aerial that just above the ground level. Which organs are above the ground level, that is considered as here aerial. The stem is aerial, that is green in color, okay. And photosynthetic, because the presence of the chlorophyll, that is carry out the function photosynthesis, and it has a nodes and internodes, that's already we studied. It is positively phototropic and negatively geotrophic. Positively phototropic means that's a growth towards the sunlight. Okay, it is not growth towards the gravity. Which one is growth towards the gravity? That is a root. Root is growth towards the gravity. Okay, so already studied there is a head node and internode. Okay, the stem bears vegetative bud for the vegetative growth of the plant. So what are the vegetative parts? Okay, so what are reproductive parts? In the shoot system consists of vegetative parts and reproductive parts. The vegetative parts means that stem and leaf. Okay, so including the root. Root is the underground part. That is, root is also the vegetative part. What is the vegetative propagation? The vegetative propagation means any part of the plant body which gives rise to a whole plant. Okay, so they can give rise to a entire plant. That is considered as a vegetative propagations. Okay, so here the stem bears vegetative bud for the vegetative growth of the plant and floral buds for the reproductions. It means the leaves only involved in the, so that is a vegetative, leaves and stem that is involved in the vegetative propagations. Okay, and the flower is involved in the reproductions, because the flower consists of a male and female sex organ. You know very well what is the male sex organ in the flower. Okay, so in the flower consists of a gynoecium and androecium. So gynoecium is the female part and androecium is the male part of the flower. Okay, so the both of them is produces some microspores and egg. Okay, so both of them is undergoing the fusion to produce a zygote. So from the zygote we will get the embryo. It is a young plant, we will get it. So, and youngs in the terminal bud. Okay, so terminal bud means in the tip of the branches. Okay, consists of a bud. So that is considered as a terminal bud. Okay, if the bud is present between the node and internode, that is considered as a axillary bud. So once again you have to recall, the stem is a aerial, green, photosynthetic, nodes and internodes are present, that is a positively phototropic and negatively geotrophic. So it bears the vegetative growth of the plant, that is your leaves and branches. Okay, even the stem, and reproductive part is the flower. Okay, the flower may be in the terminal or the flower may be in the axillary. So the young stem is a green, thus carry out the photosynthesis. And what about in the mature stem? The mature stem is turned into brown in color. Okay, so we cannot see any green color because that is covered by the periderm. The term is the periderm. Periderm means that is a matured epidermis. The epidermis is replaced by the periderm. So when the stem consists of the epidermis, that is green in color. Okay, epidermis மாறி அது matured ஆயிருச்சுனா அது brown colorல மாறும். அதுக்கு உள்ள term என்னன்னா, that is a periderm. The term is periderm. So that is a replacement of epidermis. Okay, so the young stem consists of epidermis. When the stem is matured, it consists of the periderm. Okay, so when it was very young, they can carry out the photosynthesis. So because the presence of the chlorophyll. So when it will be attained mature, so they cannot carry out because the chlorophyll is replaced. Okay, that is a degenerated. So in this area, we can see that a brown color bark is present. Okay. Next one is here, during reproductive growth, the stem bears flowers and fruits. Okay. So first we can see the vegetative growth. Okay, so then only we can see the reproductive part. So what is the reproductive part? Already I said that is a flowers. Okay, so after the fruits are formed, when the flowers are undergoing the pollinations and that is a fertilization, so after that only we can see the fruits. Okay, branches arise exogenously. So what is the meaning of endogenously? So root is arise, that is endogenously. So already we studied the pericycle is arised from, that is the innermost layer of the root. That is the pericycle region is in the innermost layer. So from the pericycle the lateral roots are arised. Okay, so that is the innermost layer. So that is considered as a endogenous in conditions. Okay, so pericycle வந்து எத்தனாவது layerல இருக்கு? That is a epidermis, rhizodermis, cortex, then endodermis, okay, then pericycle. But what about here in the stem? Okay, so exogenous means that is here the first layer, the upper layer. Okay, it is not arised from the innermost layer, that is arised from the superficial layer. அதனால இது என்ன சொல்றோம்? Exogenously அப்படினு சொல்றோம். Some stems bears multicellular hairs. We can feel it if you touch the stem. So just you can feel it, that is just rough in conditions. Okay, because the presence of the hairs. Okay, and the hair நம்ம ஏன் multicellular அப்படினு சொல்றோம்னா, it consists of so many cells are there. Unicellular அப்படினு சொல்லும்போது எப்படி இருக்கும்? Single cells தான் இருக்கும். Multicellular அப்படினா it consists of more cells. Okay, so that is here multicellular in conditions. So this is a dermal region. In the dermal region we can see the hairs. The hairs are multicellular in structure. Okay, it has more cells. So what about in the unicellular? Unicellular? This is a unicellular in condition. இப்படி பார்த்தா இது unicellular அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So that is a multicellular. Okay. So once again recall what are the characters. That is a young stem is green because presence of chlorophyll, so which is carry out photosynthesis. Young stem சொல்லணும்னா mature stem. So the mature stem consists of, that is a peridome. Okay. So during reproductive growth the stem bears flowers. During the vegetative growth they bears the leaves and branches. Okay. So branches arise exogenously. Immediately you have to think about in the root, that is a endogenously. And some stem bears in the multicellular. Appo unicellular edu. Okay, immediately you have to think the antagonistic characters of the plant. Okay. Next, the functions of the stem. So what is the main functions? Primary functions enna appadina, it provides a support and bears leaves and flowers and fruits. Okay, main thing which gives support to the plant body. Okay, so what are the plant bodies are there in the stem? That is the leaves, flowers and fruits. So what is the main functions? They have to conduct the water and minerals to various parts of the plant body from the root. Okay, so that is we studied in 10th standard. So what are the tissues are involved in the process? One is the xylem, another one is a phloem. Okay, xylem is used to conducting the water and minerals, and phloem is used to conducting the food materials from the leaves to various parts. Okay, so what about the transport food prepared by the leaves to other parts of the plant body? Okay, so leaves தான் food prepare பண்ணும், அங்க இருந்து food வந்து என்ன ஆகும், வேற வேற இடத்துக்கு transport பண்ணும். So this is a primary functions. So what about in the primary functions of root? The primary functions of root is the two functions. One is that they have to fix the plant in the soil, that is the anchorage. Another one is they have to absorb the water and minerals. Okay, that's the absorptions. That is the anchorage and absorption. That is the functions of primary root. Okay, the primary functions of stem is giving the mechanical support and conducting the food materials and water. Next, what about the secondary function? Secondary function, the stem is modified to store the food materials. A stem is modified to give mechanical support to the plant body. So that is known as a secondary functions. The first one we are going to see, that is a food storage. Okay, in the food storage you can see the pictures, that is a Solanum tuberosum and Colocasia and Gingiber officinale. Okay, so these are all the tubers are here. There is a stem tubers. Okay, they can store the food materials. Okay, this is not only used for contact and that is giving the support, they can store the food materials. Okay, these are all the vegetative propagated vegetables. Okay, vegetative propagated plants. Okay, so one is a Colocasia, this one is a Colocasia, and this is a Solanum tuberosum, that is a Gingiber officinale. So how can that is undergoing the vegetative propagations? With the help of the axillary and the terminal bud. So we can see the axillary bud and terminal bud in this, in the potato. The potato has a eye-like structures. So from that regions the sprouting will come. Okay, so that is a potato, another one is a Colocasia, and next you can see that is a axillary bud is arised. Axillary bud and terminal bud also arised in the picture. Okay, food storage. Food storage means they can store the food material. The perinations or reproductions, example ginger officinale, curcuma longa. So what is the meaning of perinations? So some of the organisms they can survive so during the unfavorable conditions, okay, they have to protect by themselves during the unfavorable conditions, that is inactive in conditions. During the favorable conditions, so after the raining it will germinate and gives rise to a plantlet. Okay, that is a perinations. Okay, சூழ்நிலை சரியில்லாத நேரத்துல தன்னை வந்து பாதுகாத்துட்டு அதுக்கு favorable conditions வந்த உடனே they can germinate. Okay, example for gingiber officinale and curcuma longa. Okay, that's a turmeric. Next one is a water storage. So which stem is store the food, water? Okay, so that is best example is opentia. Okay, so opentia the stem is very fleshy in conditions. So they have some modification. So what are the modifications are there? Your stem, the stem is modified into leaf-like structure. This is a thorn. Actually, leaf is modified into thorn-like structure. Okay. So why? What is the necessary for that modification? They want to survive. They want to escape from the transpiration. Okay. So here the stem, actually this is your stem. The stem is modified into leaf-like structure, and the leaf, this is a leaf. The leaf is modified into thorn-like structure. Okay, ma? If the leaf is present, definitely it has a stomata. Through the stomata, the water is transpired. Okay, but what happened here? The leaf is modified into thorn-like structure. Appo thorna maarichna enna agadu? Water evaporate agadu. Okay, ma? So because of that, they have to do such a modifications. Okay, here the stem is modified into leaf-like structure and store the water. Okay, so they have a very thick cuticle. Idukku mela pathina a thick cuticle vandirukum, and it consists of that is your epidermis and all the internal tissues. It's a fleshy in nature. Okay, and some of the chemical material also they have to use to store the water here. Okay, so which is modified to store the water in the opentia. And next one is the buoyancy. Buoyancy they have to floating in the surface of water. Okay, so here the parenchyma is present. So what is the parenchyma? So parenchyma is a simple tissue. Okay, so in the parenchyma some gaseous, so that is here intercellular space is present. So that is considered as a parenchyma. Okay, when the parenchyma with the air is considered as a parenchyma, with the help of the parenchyma they have to floating in the surface of water. Okay, so that is your buoyancy. So example for the Solanum tuberosum, Gingiber officinale, opentia. So these are all example for the secondary modification. And next one is a photosynthesis. Okay, so opentia in the stem is modified to store the water, at the same time that is carry out the functions photosynthesis. Okay, instead of that there is a leaf, because the leaves are modified into thorn-like structure. Okay, ruscus, euphorbia. So these are all that is here desert plants. And next, protections. In some of the plant, the stem is modified into thorn-like structures. Okay, because they want to protect from the animals. So next, support. So example, Passiflora vitis and Cerisus quadrangularis. Okay, so they have a stem. The stem is modified into tendril-like structures. Okay, so tendril is used to climbing the neighbor materials. So with the help of that, they have to give the support to the plant body. Okay. அப்போ என்ன அது சப்போர்ட்டுக்கு வந்து டென்ட்ரில்ஸாக மாறுது. ஸ்டெம்மே வந்து எப்படி மாறுது? டென்ட்ரில். ஸ்டெம்னா ரொம்ப ட்ரங்க் ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருக்குன்னு சொல்லுவோம். பட் இங்கே அந்த என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, ஒரு டென்ட்ரில், ஒரு இது மாதிரி காயில் மாதிரி மாறி அதை ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணிக்குது. So these are all examples for bryophyllum. That is a vegetative propagations, already we studied. So that is a vanda plant, that is a epiphytic plant. Okay, this is a hanging root, this is your clinging root. Clinging root is used to fix the plant in the branches, in the host plant. And hanging root, that is a hanging in the air. Okay, so it consists of, that is a velamen tissue. Velamen tissue, yesterday we studied. Okay, it consists of velamen tissue. Velamen tissue. So because presence of the filament tissue, they have to absorb the moistures from the atmosphere. Okay. So next one is that's your photosynthetic route. Yesterday we studied this is your photosynthetic route. Okay, because the presence of the chlorophyll which is carry out the function photosynthesis. And this is a cuscuta. Cuscuta, this is a total parasite. Okay, so this is a Hostoria. Actually, these roots are Hostoria, that is coiled the host plant, okay, and sucking the food material from directly from the xylem and phloem. Okay, the host oda xylathilum phloemathil irundhu food ayum water ayum அப்படியே suck பண்ணிக்கும். So next we are going to see the buds. Okay, so what is buds? Any young organ is considered as a buds. The buds are the growing points surrounded by the protective scale leaves. Actually, when the bud will formed, okay, that is protected by the scaly leaves. It may be a calyx. Okay, the calyx is used to protect the bud in the protect the flower in the bud conditions. Okay, the bud primordium mature to bud. Okay, primordium means that is that cell division is not completed. Actually, cell division takes place there. So they have a compressed axis in which the internodes are not elongated and the young leaves are closed and crowded. Okay, அங்க என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா அப்படியே அது மூடி போயிருக்கும். The bud is that is covered with the scaly leaves. Okay, so after that cell division it will be elongated. From this region we can see the young leaves. Okay, and the branches will come. Okay, so actually the young leaves are closed and crowded. That is considered as a bud primordium. So when these buds develop, it gives rise to the internodes, nodes, flowers, fruits, lateral branches, inflorescence, everything is arised from the leaf primordium. Okay, that's a primordium, bud primordium. From the bud primordium அப்படிங்கிற ஒன்றில் இருந்து தான் எல்லாமே arises ஆகுது. So what is the inflorescence? A bunch of flowers arise on the main stem is considered as a inflorescence. Okay. So based on the origin, the buds are classified into two. So one is a terminal bud or apical bud. Another one is a lateral bud or axillary or axial bud. Okay. So terminal bud is a apical bud which is present in tip of the branches. So lateral buds are present in the axillary region, the lateral positions of the stem. That is an axillary bud. So that is otherwise called axial bud. Apical bud not terminal, axial bud not lateral bud. Yeah. So based on the functions, the buds are classified into two. One is the vegetative bud, another one is a reproductive bud. So vegetative bud means from the vegetative parts, the root, stem and leaf, which gives rise to a next generations, which gives rise to a next plant. So that is considered as a vegetative bud. Okay, ma'am. So reproductive bud, that is only the flower is considered as a reproductive bud. So the terminal buds and apical bud that is present in the apex of the main stem. Apex also there is a terminal region. Apex, apical and terminal, these are all the same meaning. Okay. Lateral bud or axillary bud, that's buds occur in the axil of the leaves. So where is the axillary region? This is your node. Okay. So this another node. So the axillary region, this is the axillary regions between the node and internode. Okay, so this region is considered as the axillary region. This is called axillary region. If any bud is arised from this region, that is your axillary bud. Okay, axillary bud enga irukum node ku internode ku idaila. Okay va. So actually where is the internode? The between the two node is considered as a internode. Okay, so that is arised here or there in any place between the two nodes. Okay va. The rendu node ku naduvula endha edathila adu aarambichalo adukku peru axillary regions. Okay, pa axillary bud enga varudha? This is in the axillary region. So if it is present in the tip, that is your terminal region. It is a apical bud. It is considered as a apical bud. So terminal bud and apical bud. So these buds are present in the apexal and axillary regions. Okay, and third one is a extra axillary bud and another one is a accessory bud. See the diagram. Okay, so terminal bud, this is your terminal region. This bud is in the terminal region, so this is called a terminal bud. a terminal bud. Okay, ma. So axillary bud, this is in the axillary region. This is a node. This region is considered as a node, and this is a another node. Okay, in the between, this is one the internode. This is called internode. Okay, so ரெண்டு நோடுக்கும் நடுவுல வந்து பட் வருது. So this is a axillary region. இந்த position என்ன பேரு axillary region. Okay ma. So another one, this is a extra bud. So extra axillary bud. So extra axillary bud, இங்க already ஒரு bud இருந்திருக்கும், அதுக்கு அடியில அதாவது so below the node ஒரு bud வந்துச்சுனா, that is a extra axillary bud. So extra axillary bud, these buds are formed at the nodes but outside the axil, அதான் outside ல கீழ ஆரம்பிச்சுச்சுனா outside the axil of the leaf in the Solanum americanum plant. Okay, accessory bud, that's an extra bud on either side of the plant body. So ரெண்டு பக்கம் ரெண்டு bud இப்படி வந்துச்சுனா, that is வந்து என்ன சொல்றோம் extra bud. So that is your extra bud. So if it has a either side, this is one bud, this is another bud, means that is known as a, this is considered as a extra bud. Okay, it consists of two buds either side. Node ku either sides la bud irundhuchuna, adu vandu enadhu extra axillary bud அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So next one is a adventitious bud. Okay, the bud is arising at any part of the plant body. Okay, so example for in the bryophyllum, the bud is arised on the, that's a margin regions. Okay, so that is your adventitious bud. So adventitious buds are arising on any part of the plant body in the stem. That is called a adventitious buds. Okay, so the apical bud. Next one is your radical buds, are those that arise from the lateral roots which grow into the plantlets. Okay, so if lateral roots அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து என்ன, so lateral side நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, pericycle is arised from the, that lateral roots are arised from the pericycle. Okay, so that is called a radical bud. So radical bud எங்க இருந்து ஆரம்பிக்கும், that is your lateral roots. Lateral roots எங்க இருந்து ஆரம்பிக்குது, that is your pericycle. Okay, so example for, that's a Millingtonia, Bergera, so Kinji, okay, there's a Coffea, Arabica, Eagle Mammalus, these are all example for that. Okay. Next we have to see the foliar buds. Okay, actually foliage means that is a green leaves. Which one is involved in photosynthesis, that is considered as a foliage parts. Okay, so the foliar buds அப்படிங்கிறது the leaves, actually leaves ல இருந்து bud start ஆனா அதுக்கு பேரு foliar leaves. Okay, the buds may be start from the vein or maybe in the margin in condition. Example for begonia and bryophyllum. Okay, another one is a kaolin buds. So arise directly from the stem, that is we will see that from cut and brunked ends from the branches. Okay, direct la varum illana branches la irundhu adu start agum, adukku per dhaan kaolin buds அப்படினு சொல்றோம். So next one is a adventitious buds. There's a function as a propagules. Okay, so propagules is nothing, that is a reproductive unit is considered as a propagules. So the propagules which are produced on the stem as a tubous or structure, that is a dioscoria. Actually we can see that is a propagules. This is one of the propagules. Propagules அப்படிங்கிறது, that is a unit that is when that is detached from the parental plant body. So கீழ விழுந்த உடனே parental plant bodyல இருந்து கீழ விழுந்த உடனே அது germination ஆகும், அதுக்கு தான் பேர் என்னது propagules அப்படினு சொல்றோம். That is a reproductive unit. Okay, the propagules are otherwise called diaspore. இதுக்கு இன்னொரு பேர் என்ன பேருனா diaspores. This is otherwise called diaspores. Okay, propagules க்கு இன்னொரு பேரு diaspores. The example for agave and dioscoria is example for that. So that is a bulbils. Okay, bulbils is modified and enlarged but with propagation. So that I na dioscoria, and that is a diaspores. Bulbil is a small bud-like structure. So that is detached from the plant body. Then it will be undergoing the germination to give rise to a another plantlet in the bulbil region. Okay, this bulbil. Okay, bulbil is a small bud. அதில் இருக்கும்போதே அது generate ஆகாது, அது கீழே விழுந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் germination ஆகும். Okay, next we have to see the types of stem. Okay, types of stems are based on that. There is a vertical growing or erecting stem. Okay, based on that which is classified into upright, vertically growing, erect. Okay, so there may be many types. One XCurrent, DCurrent, caducus, and another one is here culm. Okay, these are types of stem. Okay, XCurrent, DCurrent, culm. Okay, so culm la pathina endha branches me irukadu. We cannot see the any branches. Okay. So XCurrent அப்படிங்கிறது என்னன்னா the main axis shows the continuous growth. அப்படியே கண்டினியூவா வளர்ந்துட்டே போகும். And the lateral branches is gradually is a tapering. It's look like a cone like structure. Okay, that's a XCurrent. So gradually becoming shorter. அப்படி போக 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 சைடுல லேட்டரல் வந்து அப்படியே ஷார்ட் ஆயிட்டே போய் gradually tapering ஆயிடும். It's look like a Christmas trees எப்படி இருக்கு அதே மாதிரி இருக்கும். That is appearance to the trees, conical trees. Okay, so that is your XCurrent. And example for that, there's a monolongifolium. Okay, that is belongs to gymnosperm. Monolongifolium, so casuarina. Okay, these are all examples for that gymnospermic plant. Next one is a DCrunch, just opposite. Okay, so that is a XCurrent, that is gradually tapering, isn't it? But what about here? That is here the lateral branches are, we can see the much lateral branches. We cannot see the that is your narrow plant மாதிரி இல்லாம ஒரு branch-ஆ இருக்கும் அது பார்க்கிறதுக்கு. So the grow of the branches is more vigorous than the main axis. The main axis விட இதுல வந்து branches வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும்னா vigorous-ஆ இருக்கும். It is ரொம்ப அப்படியே ஒரு கொடை படர்ந்து இருந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். Okay, so the tree has a rounded or spreading appearance. This example வந்து Mangifera indica. Okay, next one is a caducus. So caducus is unbranched. Already we studied that is a unbranched. Idhula endha branches me irukadu. So the scars fallen leaves. Okay, adu enna leaves la keela vilunthirucho, we can see the scars this places. Focus nucifera, that is vandu coconut tree. Next culm. Okay, this is a erect stem with a distinic nodes. Okay, but inside it is a hollow space is there. Okay, so in that that is a மூங்கில் மரம் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, grass சொல்றோம், இதெல்லாம் வந்து என்ன இருக்குன்னா நிறைய internodes இருக்கும். Okay, we can see more internodes, but it is the hollow space is inside. Okay, that is covered by the leaf sheathy leaves. அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம் அப்படின்னா the leaves are broad அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். leaves வந்து எப்படி இருக்குன்னா it's a broad in conditions. Okay, that is a culm. The erect stems with the distinct nodes and usually hollow internodes and clasped by the leaf sheath. Clasped na அப்படியே அந்த நோட்ல இருந்து leaf sheath வந்து மேல மேல போயிட்டு இருக்கும். Okay, these are 4 types of stem. So see that this is a culm and XCurrent. XCurrent, DCurrent க்கு என்ன difference அப்படினா this is a cone like structure but it's a spreading. Okay, the branches are spreading. Okay, caducus, that is here, so without lateral branches. Okay, lateral branches எதுவுமே இருக்காது. Example for focus nucifera is one of the example for that.